Sim, verdade. Eu fiz isso, né? De pouquinho em pouquinho.
Hare Krishna, how are you, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Nice to have you here. I just noticed that I didn't share that we're about to study the chapter 7 when I was writing
Right,
the message in the morning. I'm sorry.
that's fine. That's what I was studying. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry if my apologies. Um, please reach out if I forgot again. Hope not, but you said that you studied this chapter or you were studying other part
I
of the
was
book.
I was studying 7 this week. Yeah.
Great, great.
I feel more of a student in this book club than someone who wants to teach anything. I learn a lot more by listening. Yeah.
Me too. Hey, Bano, Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
I always feel much more like a student than someone trying to teach anything. Rather in this book club or Krishna West Gainesville book club that you're doing every Tuesday.
Mm.
It's the same thing too. Because there is always so many considerations, so many thoughts that we didn't, I at least I can say by myself, that I didn't reflect until listen people in the group. It's very interesting. Let me share here the screen. Um, here it is. Chapter 7. The Lord said, so this chapter, it's not so big. So I was thinking that we could read the chapter 7, uh, all the verses, and then stop and comment in if you both agree.
Yeah, yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
Oh. So chapter 7, the Lord said, "Here, Partha, how by practicing yoga at my shelter, with mind fixed on me, you will know me fully beyond doubt. I will teach you entirely this knowledge and wisdom, knowing which nothing further remains to be known here. Among thousands of persons, one strives for perfection, and of those who strive and succeed, one knows me in truth."
Water, fire, air, space, mind, reason, and egotism. This is my separated eightfold nature. It is inferior, O great arm. But know of my other superior nature that emanates the world, the living beings. Understand that these two natures are the source of all beings, and that I am the origin and dissolution of the entire cosmos.
There is nothing else beyond me, Dhananjaya. All this rests on me like pearls on a thread. I am the taste in water, Konteya, the light of moon and the sun, the sacred Om in all the Vedas, sound in space, valor in men. I am pure fragrance in earth, splendor in fire, life in all beings, and austerity in the austere. Know me, Partha, as the perennial seed of all beings, reason of the rational, splendor of the splendid. Of the strong I am strength, free of desire and passion. Among beings, I am desire that is not opposed dharma, O best of Paratas. Indeed, know that all virtuous, passionate, and dark states come from me alone, yet I am not in them, they are in me.
Any comments so far?
I well actually in the first paragraph, something that stuck out, text 3, the last sentence, Krishna says, out of many thousands of among
Sorry.
men, yeah, among thousands of person, one strives for perfection, and of those who strive and succeed, one knows me in truth. I've I've wondered before if Krishna is speaking here about bhaktas, or if he's talking about just in general, because he says explicitly those who are endeavoring for perfection, and this makes me think that he might be talking about those who are striving in bhakti. But then he goes on to say, of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So I've wondered about this verse often, and I don't really. Do you have any thoughts on that verse?
For me, it's much more, Krishna consciousness is much more about develop a personal relationship with Krishna, right? If you're Istadev, instead of trying to achieve perfection. Because on the chapter 6, Krishna instructs Arjuna among the different types of yoga, right? And he does a comparison with Bhakti yoga, with Ashtanga yoga, sorry, that is very different than Bhakti. And he's clearly saying that uh, you don't need to achieve perfection. Why so many rules and regulations if the goal is to develop a personal relationship with me? And a little bit on the next chapters, as far as they are discussing many points and Krishna is clarifying the doubts that Arjuna share, we see that when Arjuna understands the position of Krishna and his position, he's changed his approach, trying to treat Krishna with in a much more formal way, right? And then Krishna says, no, no, like that's not what I want. I want a personal relationship. Even that I'm the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna values much more when they are in a position of friends, right? So this is what I think when I read this verse.
So you think more that the devotees are one of those thousands, or the few and the proud. Okay. Because yeah, I've thought about this verse a lot. If Krishna is basically saying here that us three here, for instance, are already a step above those who are endeavoring for perfection, or if there's still a failure state ahead of us potentially.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because on the first verse it says, with mind fixed on me, you know me fully beyond doubt. So this is uh like think of me all the time, right? Always remember Krishna, never forget him.
Right.
And these people that are trying to fix their consciousness in Krishna uh, are much more there's much more propensity that they will know Krishna than those that are practicing rules and regulations like fasting, doing crazy asanas, and like trying to achieve a perfection and not trying to develop a relationship with him, I guess. What do you think, Krishnananda?
I think it's a good discussion so far, and I'm just following. I would say he's talking about the bhaktas. I would lean towards that. He's talking about the devotees, the Krishna conscious people who are striving to become Krishna conscious. But I guess one knows me in truth. That's rare. I guess I don't know.
Because I was thinking here, like one cannot know Krishna if not by a devotee, right? This is very emphasized in the scriptures that you can only understand this sacred literature by a devotee. So it's not merely an academic study or trying to achieve perfection, decorate verses, but bhakti is the fundamental element on this equation to understand Krishna, to develop a relationship with him.
Mhm. Yeah, and okay, I think in that first verse, the free from doubt, I think that's what I need to work on myself. But there's I was thinking about like specifically like in Chaitanya Leela, for instance, there's Lord Chaitanya is all his associates, they were all over India, they were chanting everywhere. It was just an absolutely transcendental situation. And but the people who were in the inner circle were very few in number. Not even just the immediate associates, but people who understood the impact of what was going on. Their number, they were a lot more few than everyone who was participating in the Sankirtan movement. You know what I mean?
Demographically, yes, yes. It's like one cannot refuse this argument, Prabhu. Like, yeah, if the house is on fire, why there's a few people trying to do something, right? Yeah, I understand your point. I don't have an answer though,
Oh.
but I do understand.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I started Krishna Vancouver, because
Hmm.
we need to do something, right? Like,
Yeah.
even without not even not having the qualifications, even not having lots of time, like trying to do something. But yes, why so many? Why so many? And sure that there is the prediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? The golden age, and um, the that the whole name will spread in every town, every village. But for me, I can only say me by myself, looks hard to think how this will develop in steps that look so slow sometimes, right? So just sharing like a particular point of frustration, because ideally I would like that this could be shared by everyone, everyone. There's so many interesting people, intelligent people, and why they're not studying the Gita, why they're not trying to organize themselves in local groups or going to temple, attending retreats, whatever. I don't have this answer, but I also know that stay with my arms crossed on the couch won't change the situation. So just trying to do something. Jadav says something very interesting about this. That is that the consciousness of an individual will evolve faster than the consciousness of a society. and we need to try to not let these frustrations be a barrier for us to act, to do something. But yeah, it's a sensitive point. It's a very interesting question for sure.
Yeah, I guess the material world has so much inertia, but Lord Chaitanya has a lot of inertia too. And a long time ago, someone told me that it's like Lord Chaitanya has created this wave, and you just have to surf it. And that inertia will carry us.
Yeah, yeah. Like on Ramayana that all animals are helping to do the bridge, right? Even the small ants, even the small monkeys. And maybe one think, wow, they're doing anything. But no, they're trying to do something. They are trying to help in the way that they can. That's how I see uh my effort, like just a little animal trying to do something, trying to help to build this huge bridge. And maybe looks nothing, like it's a drop in a vast ocean, but I prefer to be the drop that is trying to do something, like not for personal reasons, but because I do believe that this philosophy has the power to change the life of many people, has changed mine. So not trying to push this to anyone, but trying to really spread and give back a special gift that I received. There is something here that I thought really, really beautiful. Where it is? Uh, uh, uh. Oh yeah, here. When Krishna is describing, I love this part, when he's describing all his opulence, like I'm the taste in the water, the light of the sun and the moon. I'm the sacred on, the sound in space, the valor in man. Here, among beings, I am desire that does not oppose Dharma, O best of Bharata. Because we as human beings, we have so many wishes, right? And some of them are desires to advance in Krishna consciousness. Some desires are more in a material platform. So I think that this question that you were sharing, it resonates with this a lot because it's the desire to spread Krishna consciousness with more people. And this is a desire that does not oppose to Dharma.
Right.
Any other thoughts?
I was just listening to a lecture by Acharya Dave, and he said that Prabhupada wrote him a letter about the difference between mental speculation and philosophical speculation, and that you can, if you question whether Krishna is the taste of water, that's mental speculation. That's against that kind of don't do that. But philosophical speculation is what does that mean? So I wanted to go back to my separated eightfold nature. It includes mind, reason, and egotism. And it says that my other superior nature that emanates the world, the living beings, are the jiva, if I understand correctly, if I'm understanding this correctly. So mind, reason, and egotism are material. And what what is the soul, the consciousness? I know the soul is Satchit Ananda Vigraha in its pure form, but what do we meditate on when we talk about Brahman, when we talk about being beyond mind intelligence? mind, reason, and egotism. What is it that how do we identify? This came up in another group I was in. I think it's posed a question, and it seems like, do you understand the question I'm asking?
Can you say it again, Prabhu? Because I stand up if you were asking
What is
what is material and what is not. Is this
right?
no?
Material is egotism, the ego, the false ego, the I am. I am. I am a devotee of Krishna. That's ego? That's false. That's material,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the superior nature is a living being, which is the eternal spark, which we understand is 1,000, 10,000 the upper portion of the hair. The spark of the soul is in the soul. I'm doing the basics now, but I'm trying to understand. When I meditate, I don't meditate on my ego that I'm a devotee of Krishna. What am I meditating on as a soul, as a living being? What does that mean?
Banu Prabhu, some consideration about it?
I was just I had a couple thoughts. The example is given a lot with with water. Water in its natural state, it's a liquid, but depending on circumstance, it can be caused to behave differently. It can become a solid, but that's circumstantial. So I guess ultimately anything that's circumstantial is material, because as soon as that particular circumstance is removed, then that quality will also be removed with it. It's like I have this ego and I have this mind and I have this line of reasoning, but it's circumstantial because I'm in this body. I have this mind currently and all this. So all this is circumstantial. Um, like ultimately it without knowing specifics, I'm a servant of Krishna, and in my pure form I might be this type of servant or that type of servant, but it's obscured from me right now. So we just kind of leave it on the simple thing. I'm an eternal servant, somehow or other I should serve Krishna.
Dasa, dasa, go dasa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. That answers it. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Mana, welcome. I was about to share here the translation of Prabhupada, just for us to have a quick view. It's like this. One who knows that the position reached by means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are. The purport is short. I would suggest us to read here. The real purpose of philosophical research is to find the ultimate goal of life. Since the ultimate goal of life is self-realization, there is no difference between the conclusions reached by the two processes. By Sankhya philosophical research, one comes to the conclusion that a living entity is not a part and parcel of the material world, so it's the material world that you're talking, right? But of the Supreme Spirit whole. Consequently, the Spirit soul has nothing to do with the material world. His actions must be in some relation with the Supreme. When he acts in Krishna consciousness, he is actually in his constitutional position. In the first process, Sankhya, one has to become detached from matter, and in the devotional yoga process, one has to attach himself to the work of Krishna consciousness. Factually, both processes are the same, although superficially one process appears to involve detachment and the other process appears to involve attachment. Detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna are one and the same. One who can see these things, no, sorry, one who can see this sees things as they are. Don't know if it helps to clarify, but for me at least, it helps to understand that is the difference between the material and the spiritual nature, right?
Right.
Let me back to share here. There is any other consideration? Otherwise, I would just continue to share here. Or any doubt? Let me continue to share here. Baffled by these three modal states, this whole world does not recognize me, who am above these states unchanging. This, my divine modal illusion, is truly difficult to overcome. Those who approach me alone cross beyond this illusion. So it says about the illusion of the material world, right?
This comes back again to what you were talking about, your effort to preach or the effort for the devotees to bring people in because they're deluded by the modes of material nature. They can't see, they can't recognize Krishna. But once you get a taste, that's why I come. I want to know what Krishna's thinking. I want to know what he's thinking. That's why I come to Bhagavad-gita class. I want to understand and listen to the devotee talk about Krishna.
Yeah. Any volunteer to continue the reading?
Those who act badly do not approach me, the foolish, the lowest of men, those whose knowledge is robbed by illusion, those who resort to ungodly states. Four types of beneficent persons worship me, Arjuna. One who suffers, a knowledge seeker, one who prays for wealth, and one with knowledge, O best of Bharatas. Of these, the one with knowledge, always linked in singular devotion, is superior. I am exceedingly dear to one with knowledge, and that person is also dear to me.
I love this part because Krishna says here that it's not a fanatic mentality that will make one approach him, right? So, okay, great, worship the deity, but if you're not being able to see Paramatma in the heart of those who are around you, so what, right?
I'm definitely um the distressed type.
Yeah, there is four types of people. Yeah, it's interesting to think about what make me approach Krishna consciousness, right? Because everyone has a singular reason, and everyone comes to Krishna consciousness through a very different way. It's always interesting to know uh, how people arrive on this path. At least I always stay curious about it.
I actually was a Christian. My grandmother was a Seventh-day Adventist, a vegetarian Christian. I was raised like that, and I decided I wanted to find the Father, Jesus' Father, and I found him in Krishna. Long story short, same same God, Jehovah, Krishna. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, probably right out of high school, I had this notion that I just decided one day that I think the universe is a person. And and I don't know, that kind of just sat in the back of my mind for a long time, but it developed and I had nothing to go on. I had no reason to believe it, but I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a person out there. And yeah, not too long later I met the devotees and it turns out the universe is a person. It's true.
Yeah, it's always interesting because some people came by philosophy, others by prasadam. Uh, Everyone is attracted by something different, right?
I moved on the block of the Watsika. I had no idea where I was. I was on the same block as the temple. The devotees were very kind to me. Took a
Wow.
while for me to warm up. I didn't like the devotees at first, but once I got to know them, I joined right away.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I remember that there is a place that the devotees always used to do Sankirtan in Brazil, in São Paulo. And I pass like every single day through this avenue, but I never realized, I never saw the devotees there. And after I met Krishna consciousness, I was like, oh, they're here every day. How come I never see these people? I just don't know. I just don't know. They are there doing Sankirtan every single day when I was back of the college on my way back home, but I don't remember to see the devotees doing Sankirtan there before. It's interesting. It's interesting. And then every time that I see them doing Sankirtan, I used to cross the street to talk with them because it makes me so happy. Only see them there doing Sankirtan on the summer with the sun of midday. It was like, wow, let me go there. Let me go there. I wanna talk with the devotees. I wanna buy a book. This is really interesting because everyone says, but how come you never see these people there? They're there like every day. I never realize it. Never realize it. Let me back to share here. Who would like to continue the reading?
And read, truly all these are noble, yet I accept the one with knowledge as my very self. For that linked soul abides only in me, the ultimate goal. After many births, one with knowledge approaches me, knowing Vasudev, Krishna, is everything. That great soul is very hard to find.
Yeah. Following various rules, ruled by their own natures, those robed of knowledge approach other divinities. Whoever wishes to worship whatever form faithfully devoted, to each I bestow a moving faith. With that faith, one undertakes worship and thereby obtains wishes actually bestowed by me alone. But only, oops, but only a fleeting fruit comes to those of light inside. Sacrificers to gods go to gods. My devotees surely go to me. It's interesting, right? Because Krishna recognized that there is different paths. And here it said people have free will. There is no imposition. No one is being pushed you to Krishna consciousness. Although some people think, but no, Krishna is very clear here. You have free will. Choose what you think is best for you.
He's not jealous, in other words.
Yeah, he's not jealous. He's not trying to convince like, oh, it's only this, you know? No. Like according to the divine form, the deity that you are worshiping, you have a different result. According to each path, you have a different result of this.
There's it's kind of funny. I don't know where the verse comes from initially, but it's paraphrased in Chaitanya Charitamrita a couple times where Krishna, let me see here. One of the translations in CC is all the universes is filled with a conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. And Krishna says it's translated another way that it'll be probably be too hard to find. But it seems kind of it's the same case for us. Like Krishna's saying here that, if we're not striving for him alone, then we'll wind up on some heavenly planet. But we're not going to be totally satisfied there, so it's kind of what's good for Krishna is also good for us. When we're satisfied, Krishna will be satisfied, and when Krishna's satisfied, that's the only time that we'll be truly satisfied forever. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. And what is to be satisfied, right? Because in a material platform, be satisfied means one thing. But when we start to study, to read the books, we understand that the real satisfaction is not possible in the material world. It's something spiritual. But to develop this quality, to be able to understand this spiritual satisfaction, we need to work on a material platform. And that's what it says in the chapter 5, right? Me continuing sharing here. Who would like to continue reading?
Not knowing my higher, ultimate, unchanging nature, the unwise think me a formless existence that takes on visible individuality. I do not reveal myself to all. This confused world, covered by mystic illusion, does not recognize me, unborn and unchanging. I know the past, present, and future of all beings, Arjuna, but no one knows me.
I love this one. Like, so powerful. Any comments, thoughts?
Yeah, I was trying to glance at that purport real quick where Krishna says, "No one knows me." Um,
I can open here.
I have it.
Um,
It's just he's so elusive. Like in the previous verses too. You could just win the entire material creation. You could accomplish everything there is to accomplish. You could really just milk it for all it's worth, and it's disappointing in the end. It's the most supremely disappointing thing. Um, especially after all that endeavor. I mean, trying for millions and millions of lifetimes, and then finally, reaching these highest planets in the material world, and still just it's empty. There's no juice.
yeah. Is it 25 or 26? Um, those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged. Here, this one. With him, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. Wow. The purport is short. Would you like to read?
Only a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountainhead of everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. One cannot be engaged in such first-class welfare work without being liberated in the Supreme. A Krishna-conscious person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely freed from all sins. This is the state of divine love. A person engaged only in the ministering to the physical welfare of human society cannot factually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord. When a man is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle.
Yeah, so it's the difference between the understanding and the realization, right? Yeah, I would suggest us to finish just this chapter and then go to the part 5 of the book, where Chardeva will give more disclosure about these topics. Let me back to share here. Here it is. Who would like to continue the reading?
Partha, O sculptor opposed, due to the bewilderment of duality arising from desire and hate, all beings enter illusion at birth. But those pious deeds whose misdeeds have ceased, who are freed from such bewilderment, worship me with firm vows. Depending on me, those who strive for release from old age and death understand Brahman entire, higher self, and action complete. With awareness linked in yoga, those who know me as the higher principle of divinity, nature, and sacrifice know me even at the time of passing.
Wow. Any comments so far, Prabhu? Oops, I think Manan put down. Right. Yeah, one who knows Krishna, it's linked with in yoga, linked with the Supreme, right? Let's go to the part 5, sacrifice or offering, jagya. Let me just confirm here, because I think that we didn't read this part together. Did we? No, not yet. So let me share. Here it is. Part 5, sacrifice or offering, jagya. The very universe that binds us to karma offers us a path to freedom, jagya offering. Apart from this loophole or escape clause, the whole world is but an endless variety of karma bondage. One who makes no offering cannot enjoy this or any other world. What then is jagya offering? How does it play such an important role in cosmic function and personal salvation? Krishna teaches that we are created to offer sacrifice, for the Creator builds it into our deep nature as creatures. Virtually everyone offers something of some symbolic or tangible value to a superior in order to please, placate, oblige, or win favor. And whenever we do, we engage in the most basic sense in jagya, sacrifice. It is so much a part of our nature that even those who dismiss sacred texts and shun celestial rites perform jagya nonetheless. Thus, people pay taxes and bribes to higher political powers. We brutally honor superiors in the military, at work, in government, on the athletic field, on campus, etc. People sacrifice time, energy, money, even their lives for what they see as a higher cause or as a rational way to negotiate and navigate higher power. Thus, Jagya offering is a universal impulse, a need and an inspiration of people everywhere. Yeah, it's what we are discussing, right?
Yeah, and it just makes me think too, like in the highest material planets, they're they're not engaged in just nonsense. Like they're offering sacrifice, like they're performing yajna, they're worshiping the Supreme. Um and like they have so much better facility there than we have here. You know, we try and make some little sacrifice here, but it's not quite the same as whatever can be offered in heaven, you know. But so it makes me think that obviously there's, you know, that the secondary factor, the devotion is what's actually important, but it makes me wonder if devotion is the thing that actually matters, how do we put so much stress on yajna? You know, if it's just totally secondary. Like here on earth, it's probably just Lord Chaitanya's mercy. But it seems like we got the better end of the bargain, even though we really have no facility to make any significant offering at all. You know, it still seems like we're in the ideal position. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. In every age, there is a different type of sacrifice, right? So in other ages, the sacrifice, the yajna, was doing fire ceremonies. And in this age, the sacrifice is chant the holy names. So when we look back, we think, well, but we are so distant of this. Yeah, but even though, we are so close. Like we are here, everyone in a different city, in a different time zone, talking about Krishna, listening about Krishna. So it's so accessible,
Yeah.
right?
Well, but even the chanting, like in the heavenly planets, like, you know, they have hundreds of mouths, you know, like the Gandharvas can sing. Like I'm not a good singer. I can, you know, hum a Hare Krishna tune every now and then, but even that, like the ability to our ability to glorify Krishna even is it's hampered here. Um but it still seems like it's not really a hindrance, even though in the heavenly planets, like, you know, they could offer better glorifications, they could offer better songs, you know, they could offer better worship in every aspect, but it still doesn't seem to matter so much. Like we're not missing out on anything because of our inability to properly worship God. Um,
But then there is a thing, the point that we've bring minutes ago. It's not perfection, but it's to develop a relationship with Krishna. So do your best, even with your limitations, even if you're not in a celestial planet and you're not being able to offer all the gold, uh, do your best. What do you think, Manan and Krishnananda? Any thoughts about it?
I think Bandhu was right. We got the best of the bargain of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, but I mean, it seems like the most I can do is chant my rounds in the morning, and those are mixed up with thoughts, and I have to keep pulling myself back to hearing the name and not wandering off to what my day's going to be like. And but at least I get up and chant. And there was some question of whether I could come to this book club tonight or not, but I made the effort. I said, no, it's important. It's really important to keep coming back no matter what, regardless of my personal situation. So I'm just trying to take advantage of everywhere I can. There seems to be limited opportunity, but if I can think of Krishna during the day, chant my rounds in the morning, think of Krishna during the day, read the literature, listen to the lectures, and associate with devotees on the weekends when I come to these groups. That helps.
Thanks so much. Thank you all for being here. Me back here. Who would like to continue the reading? We stop.
Not surprisingly.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, we find that virtually all religions engage the faithful in some sort of offering to the divine or higher power, however conceived. Typically, one seeks divine favor to secure safety, happiness, prosperity, or enlightenment for oneself and one's dear ones, warding off evil and winning one's wishes. On rare occasions, a devoted spiritualist seeks a divine being's pleasure as an end in itself, but that is not par for the human course. I'm self-conscious reader. I can only read a little at a time. Sorry. But
It's okay.
Bhagavad-gita carefully analyzes the offering act, making a crucial distinction between action and its fruit or reward. Driven by our nature, we must act at every moment, and our acts bear fruit: wealth, fame, power, knowledge, love, or bodily pleasure. Remarkably, Krishna tells us that we have a right only to our duty, but never to its fruits. We must offer the fruits to those higher powers that bestowed them. Indeed, karma binds us precisely when we grasp the fruit of work. Krishna defines a selfish binding act as one in which we cling to fruits. If we reverse this motion and first offer the fruit to its source before enjoying it, we perform yajna and free ourselves from karma.
Here it is. One might well ask, why can we enjoy the fruit of our own labor? Actually, we can, but only after first acknowledging our bound source. For example, offering our food before we eat does not mean that we starve. Rather, by a simple rite of recognition, respect, and gratitude, we free ourselves from the offense of taking without giving back. Indeed, the ability to feel gratitude and to reciprocate lifts us above abject savagery. By sincere offering, one escapes the blindest form of egotism. One escapes the tiny prison of self-centeredness, realizing that something or someone in the universe is greater and provides for us. This is beautiful.
Yeah, abject savagery when we eat food without first offering it to Krishna.
Yeah. Again, we don't need to, but at the same time, how not to, right?
Yeah, it's miraculous that all these foods just come out of plants and stuff like this. The skies rain and the earth eats it up, and then you have a tomato just like that. And it can seem really mundane when we're just used to shopping and filling our pantries and stuff like that. But I mean, it's pretty spectacular that we have the things that we have. It's kind of amazing if you think about it.
It is, and we tend to consider only climate circumstances, political political trades between the countries. But yeah, it is amazing. Like all the details, all the diversity, all that Krishna planned. Manan said in the chat, may I ask a doubt? Please, Manan, open your mic. Yeah.
how can we chant more rounds? Actually, I'm in a devotion from 1 year and I'm not able to chant more than one or two rounds of japa. And well, I tried, but I'm not able. So I was asking that how can I maintain that discipline so I can chant more and more. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I didn't understand very well. Does someone, I don't know if someone understood, Prabhu.
I caught yeah, the mic quality wasn't very good. It seemed like you're asking just how to chant more. Is that accurate? Just in
Yes,
general?
yes.
Pray to Krishna. That he might dance on your tongue. I don't know. It's I wish I had a really wonderful answer, but all we can do is show up and then hope that Krishna shows up too. And when he doesn't show up, we chant anyway, maybe next time.
Yeah. We need to listen about Krishna, right? If you want to talk about Krishna, uh, this is what I think, right hand with your question, Manam, because this ruchi, this taste, can exist, but there is a method, right? We can chant around, we can follow the principles. We should, but also feed ourselves with all the Vedic literature, all the instructions of the previous acharyas. This can help us to navigate the path of bhakti with more enthusiasm.
I can't remember exactly what it was I was reading, but recently in a purport, it was discussed that as we as we go about the material world, and we find enjoyments here and there, that these enjoyments that we get from the material world, they're not they're not fictitious. They're just temporary. And it's like we're hunting for rasa and in the material world, and you never find an inexhaustible source of it. Um, but I've noticed slowly over my lifetime, I start to look more and more towards, sadhu sangha and chanting and hearing and stuff like that. I start to look to that more regularly just because over time you start to realize that it is inexhaustible. Every time you reach into that bag, you're going to find something. Um, and I don't always look to that side. I still try and find material enjoyment. And sometimes you find it and sometimes you don't. But it's a gamble. Whereas with chanting, it really is inexhaustible if we can really, throw ourselves into our devotion and stuff like that. There's just no end to it. It's great.
Well, yeah, I really like that you share what you said about the bag. Every time that we can you say this again, Prabhu?
Which part?
That you said that every time that we search something in this bag, we'll find something. I thought this is amazing.
Oh, I don't remember. It's
Yeah.
but there's always something there. It's really nice. And that's I think uh, the fortunate thing is as we just go about our devotional service, we'll naturally get trained, that if we go this way, there's always a reward, and if we go this way, it's just there might be a reward, and if there is, it's really temporary. It'll wear off and you'll want another one, and it's just frustrating, I think.
Wonderful thoughts. Thank you for sharing. Did help you a little bit, Manan?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank
Hare Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. I don't know if someone has any other consideration to share, comment it out. We are on our time here, just to honor the time of you all also. No? Okay. So we see again next week. We continue our studying of the part 5. Try to share the recording on the group as app. Thank you all for coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.